Hello, Captain Sensible here. We're in Hythe, in Kent. We're at the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. We're going to catch a train all the way down to darkest Dungeness. Fancy that? Come on then!
The 13.5 mile, 15-inch gauge railway opened on the 16th of July 1927 and has been running ever since. Even during World War II, when it was used by the Army to guard the construction of Operation Pluto, the pipeline under the sea that fueled the Allies.
I can smell something. Oh, it's a steam train. Fantastic. Takes me back. You know, I'm old enough to remember scheduled steam services. But there you go, don't hold that against me. First stop, Romney then. It's brilliant. The guard's got a green flag. That's the way it should be. And there's some real signals up there. Well, if you can see them through the smoke. What a lovely way to spend an afternoon this is. A lot easier on the ears than supporting Motorhead, which is what I've been doing lately. Yeah, this is Romney Marsh now. Apparently, it's a smuggler's paradise. You can see why. There's nobody around for miles.
I've actually taken you further than I thought. To the fifth continent, as this place has been described. It was Thomas Ingoldsby who wrote, "The world, according to the best geographers, is divided into Europe, Asia, Africa, America, and Romney Marsh."
You pay a fortune for these smoke effects at gigs. And this is Dymchurch, home of the fictional character Dr. Sin, a smuggling vicar up to no good. Fantastic.
The swashbuckling Dr. Sin starred in 7 novels, written over a period of nearly 30 years by Kentish author Russell Thorndike. The books were in turn adapted for film, television and radio. In fact, Dr. Sin has such a legacy in the area that talks are ongoing to build a 100-foot statue on the marsh in his honour.
Of course, in those days it would have meant something entirely different. Nowadays you just imagine like whips and chains. Oh no, Dr. Sin! We're at New Romney. This is the Clapham junction of the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway. This is where it all happens.
It's quite a train set too, isn't it? Built out of the dreams of 2 very rich men in the 1920s. Captain J.E.P. Howie, a sometime racing driver, landowner, army officer and miniature railway enthusiast, and Count Louis Zabrowski, another well-known racing driver of his day, famous for driving the original Chitty Bang Bang. Before they'd even found a suitable place for the railway, the Count ordered 2 Pacific locomotives, Green Goddess and Northern Chief, to be designed by the leading model engineer of his day, Henry Greenlee, and built in Colchester by Davy Paxman and Company. Before they were finished though, the Count collided with a tree at the Italian Grand Prix, and Howie was left with 2 locomotives and the task of finding somewhere to run them. He commissioned Greenlee to help him, and it was he that came up with the Romney Marsh idea.
I'm so impressed, you know, because it was built in the 20s. I mean, can you think of other things that were built in the 20s that have lasted so long? Everything now has got built-in obsolescence. You know, you buy a mobile phone, it lasts for a couple of years, or a TV or something like that. You've got to throw it away. You don't repair anything anymore. I sound like an old fart. Well, we've arrived at Romney Sands and you can see a lot of nice little static caravans all over the place. I might be the right age for that sort of thing now. There's a whole stack of pylons over there heading towards something malevolent up ahead. What could it be? Have you got your Geiger counter with you? It'd be going ballistic by now. It's got a fairly unique vibe down here at Dungeness. Somewhere between grim and wonderful. Dungeness. How can you say that word and make it sound jolly? We're in Dungeness now.
Dungeness is an almost otherworldly village, if you can call this random collection of buildings a village, that is. It has a post-apocalyptic feel that befits a place with a nuclear power station on its doorstep. Even the houses around here are like nowhere else. Tarred timber shacks, some of which were built around old railway coaches.
It's a fairly wacky and blowy place here in Dungeness, but people still want to live in these funny little shacks. I wonder what makes them want to move here in the shadow of that monstrosity there. Dungeness, a nuclear power station. I mean, I don't think I could live in the shadow of that.
Perhaps Dungeness's most famous resident was artist and filmmaker Derek Jarman, who devoted much time at the end of his life to the creation of this strange garden at Prospect Cottage. This area doesn't grab you immediately as an obvious setting for a garden, it's so desolate and inhospitable, but Jarman brought together local plants, stones and flints with stuff he found on the beach, fishing tackle, shells, driftwood and metal, using them all as sculptures in his garden. There are no walls to the garden either, making it seem endless, drifting off into the vast nothingness and beyond.